1, 2, 3.
Welcome to Oregon Quilting, and this is the second in our series of programs about peace. And last month we talked about person to person, and this time kind of the earth and environment. But first we have some wonderful challenge projects to show you. And we have, Lynette couldn't be here. She's working at the quilt shop. What a shame. So this was her challenge fabric. So it's like a window, and she's going to make another one and then probably have a table runner with the two of them. So her husband decided that it's the cross, and then the little orange is the sun shining on the cross and on the flowers. So that was Lynette's project. And then Karen couldn't be here today. Open it up. Isn't it beautiful? So it has the challenge fabrics from this year, and then some that are left from last year. So it's just wonderful. And the back is pretty. You can see the quilting. And she called. She said, "It's just getting ready to quilt." And so she finished quilting it and popped on over. So I think it's really... Okay, you can just take it down with you. So Helen, what have you brought for us today?
Well, I brought one that I made, which is monkey wrench.
Oh, look at that.
At least that's what
the book says.
Yes. And then Joy could not be here today, so she made the placemats. So I don't know what that pattern is supposed to be. She didn't tell me.
She probably designed it herself.
Could be.
Aren't they pretty? They really are pretty. They look so spring-like.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
They'd be lovely on my tablecloth.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we could put it down here like that.
See, isn't that lovely?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Thank you, Helen.
Yes.
And now we have Teresa. Brought something to share with us.
Okay, the first thing is some little blocks for the Oso mudslide victims. There's a little quilt shop up in Arlington. I think it's Arlington, Washington, that's going to put it together, make a bunch of quilts and put them together. So mine are a cowboy theme. You'll notice by the little cowboy boot in the center there. And I like these stars because the center is kind of offset if you held it up like this.
Okay. Now, is everybody doing the same pattern?
Same pattern.
Same pattern.
No, just stars.
Just stars. Okay.
And this is the one I chose. Little cowboy hats. And this is
Oh, isn't that cute? The robe.
rope. Yeah. And I was thinking more like the guys or teenagers or something like that might like that. The next thing I have is something you're all going to think I'm a little nuts. It is a quilt that I made for our RV, which is, I'm going to say RV, it's like about a marshmallow. It's real small. But I made it out of mostly my husband's jeans and a few other things. So there are pockets that I've left on it, and those little watch pockets that they have in the jeans, this size, I put that in there. I put in the little leather patch that they have on Levi's. Let's see, what else is here? A 501 patch. And then I threw in some little patches of cowboy.
Fabric.
Yeah, just to give it a little bit of variety. But as you can tell,
It's heavy.
it's heavy without batting.
Yeah. But
And
that'll be nice because sometimes they get cold.
Yes, yeah, it does. So that's kind of my, it's just muslin. And you can see there's paint, a little bit of paint on his jeans, and once in a while there's a little bit of grease. I couldn't get it out.
What a fun idea.
But it should be warm,
Yes,
I hope.
yes. And we have Grisha is next. Oh.
My friend
Oh.
just had her baby, so I made her a little quilt. And it has her name and the day she was born on it. But it was just a panel I had, so I cut it out and put a border around it. Then I just used the same purple for the back.
And what's nice is, you know, you often get baby quilts and pink is fun and blue is fun, but this is like more grown up, so it's not just all going to be over, you know, when they get to be, you know, 2 or 3. This will be a fun one. Zoe May. March 28th.
Yeah,
Isn't that exciting?
pretty little girl was born.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that.
And Faith is back all the way from Japan. And she's glad to be here, and we're glad she made it okay.
Hi. Boy, and are my arms tired.
Long flight, isn't it?
Yes, it was 12 hours there and little less than 9 hours back. We had a tailwind.
Going east you do.
Yeah, we didn't have one going in.
No, we
And stairs. All I can say is practice. Go up 30 flights a day to practice. Trust me, you will thank me for this later. I ate a cricket while I was there, and it was sweet, not salty. Never experienced jet lag before. That was an experience that I would really rather not ever experience again.
Okay.
While I was there, though, I went to Fabric Town.
Okay.
And they don't have their fabric stores aren't like you have a Joann's over here and you have Fabric Depot and you have Ben Franklin or your local quilt shops. They have a district or a town. And I was in Tokyo, and you just start walking down this road and there's a button shop and there's a ribbon shop and there is a shop that sells clover items. Also, the fabric stores, the one I went to, it was called Tomatoes, or Tomato. And the bag, my husband threw it away, has a big tomato on it and it says Tomato. It was 5 stories tall, and you take the elevator. What we did was we took the elevator to the top and worked our way down, because Mama didn't want to do any more stairs that she had to. I was not going to start from the bottom and work my way up. But on one of the floors, my son Corey asked if I could make a yukata. Yes, a yukata, which is a robe that they wear. It's similar to a kimono, but this is one that's worn as a robe, as opposed to
It's a house.
regular clothing. Yes,
It's
a house coat. Then there is, let me make sure I get this right, omatsuri hape, and it's a shorter coat. This one, what you would see on your right here is a female version, and this one is a male version. It's a little longer. Now, this is the fabric that is going to be used for the yukata. This is for my son. It's a very masculine print. The koi are considered very good luck, or the carp, koi carp. They are good luck in the Japanese culture. And this was actually we thought it was very beautiful. And the fabric itself is actually, it's 100% cotton, but it's quite heavy.
It's heavy.
But it's supposed to be warm because their climate is just about similar to ours, except that it's windier there.
And there's no central heating. And the walls are,
The houses
thin.
move too.
Yes, they do.
The one I stayed in, I had motion sickness the whole time, and my son finally said, "Well, Mom, the house moves. You know that, right?" No, nobody told me that.
That's one thing I neglected to tell her before she left on her
That
trip.
and the 30 flights of stairs a day if you're going to go sightseeing. Oh, and there was an earthquake there while I was there, and I was laying in bed, and it was kind of like, and then it was over. I didn't freak out, didn't get upset. There was no reason to. But it was actually quite funny because when I realized what it was, I laughed. And it's about 4:30 in the morning. So it was a 4.9. And my husband keeps track of that kind of stuff. So he got a hold of me and said, "Oh, you just had an earthquake." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Anyway, this is the fabric that I'm going to use for the hape coat for mine. And this almost feels like decorator fabric, like you would almost upholstery. But it's not, it's clothing fabric. It has I believe these are the Kurans, or could also be called a phoenix, which is, and I love the stylized smoke or clouds in this. It's very beautiful. Then this one is going to be for my husband, Roger, and I don't know if you can get this on if you can see that. I love the selvages. Selvages are just beautiful, and I'm going to have to make sure that I cut all those off and make them into a special pillow or something, because I love seeing the kanji on there. Mm-hmm. This one is more like the fabric for Corey's. It's a little bit lighter.
You hold it up so they can see the pattern.
Yeah. It's almost patchwork, which I thought was very cute. Well, maybe I shouldn't say cute since it's for my husband. Now he'll want the other fabric.
Too bad.
Yep.
Get it made before he sees the program.
Yeah. Prices there for fabric are very comparable to us, if not a little bit less. When you get into the fabrics like with the koi on it, it starts to get expensive. And they base their yardage, it's meters. And it was great watching her do it because she had a meter stick. She would roll it out.
Because they come on a big roll.
Mm-hmm. These aren't regular bolts. They do sell bolts, but these are on big rolls. And she hooks the end of the fabric on the end of the meter stick, and she goes, and grabs it and goes like this. Then she lays it down, and there's like a channel. And you think, okay, she's going to cut it in that channel. But then she takes it, she lifts it up, kind of flips it, moves it over anywhere from 6 to 8 inches, and then she has these shears about this long. And she just makes a little snip, and then she sticks it in there, and she pulls like this. And it's shut that, I would not want it. It's sharper than a rotary blade. It's got to be. Now these are some of the quilters' cottons that I found. This one has monks on it, which I thought were very cute. Then the next one had owls. I don't know, can you get that okay, Joan? And then, of course, it would be sacrilege not to get anything with the happy cats. That's a good luck charm there, too.
Yes.
They actually have stores devoted to just this cat with the little paw that, you know, does this, and it was actually quite fun. This fabric was 307 yen, I think it was. So it was the equivalent to like $3.07 a yard. And I thought that was very reasonable.
The prices actually change, even though they stay the same, because the
Fluctuation of the dollar and the yen. When we ordered my yen for the trip, it was worth $10 less than when we actually, or more than when we picked it up. So we actually physically got less yen than what we had paid for. But being that this is how you get it, it's weird. It's the stock market. But all in all, it was a great trip. I was very tired.
Yes.
I went on to a aquarium that was 10 stories up in a building. I found that to be quite unusual. I was not expecting an aquarium that high in the air. It's like, what if you spring a leak? Somebody's getting wet. I visited one of many temples, Shinto temples, and I also saw where the old imperial palace was that had long since burned down, and I can't remember his name, but what they did when that particular emperor died is the next emperor burned down his temple or his home, and they left all the caissons or all the walls left. And I got to see the cherry trees just starting. There were two cherry trees blooming when I left. So it was very fun. I'm not sure I would do it again. If I did, I'd want to stay for about a month. And believe me, I want to stop by all of those American restaurants. Just me.
Yeah, well, McDonald's are pretty much the same.
Yeah.
In Asia, you can get McDonald's. They have a Coke floats. So you have the Coke with the ice. Then they put the ice cream on top of the ice, and then they put the, topping on top of that. So it's rather unusual, but very good.
I got to experience the last night. I got to experience Baskin and Robbins. There were some muskmelon flavored ice cream. I did not try it. I had vanilla because I knew it was a flavor I could go with. I'm a Puritan here. But they had some strange names for some of them. And those places were packed.
Yes.
And they have restaurants that are some of them are barely wider than this table. Maybe even some of them are like double the size of this. You go in, you eat, you get out. And that's exactly what they want you to do. The train system, nobody talks on their phone in the train system or the subway system or on the buses. They don't, and they have no problem telling you that in about 6 different languages. And I had to laugh because they'll sit there, they'll play on their phone, they'll text. Everybody has earbuds in that has a phone if they're texting. And it's a very clean country.
Yes.
It's very clean.
Yes.
Also, we went to Mexico, which is about 3 hours out of Tokyo. I want to say it's northeast of Tokyo.
I think
I
that's
think
right.
that's right. I'm hoping that my north, south, east, and west are the same there. I mean, it's the same Earth, so though it seemed like a different world.
Well,
But oh well, yes. It would be right here. I was right there, and we actually went up this way, so we were actually a little closer to the tip over here.
okay.
But I got to see indigo being made,
Isn't that
dye. It's
that's really
dinky,
something.
but it's really cool. They have pots in the ground. There's 4 pots, and then there's a central pot that is like a fire, and it cooks the fabric in these pots. And I wish I would have gotten better pictures now, but I did get some pictures. They just weren't that good of pictures because I wasn't sure what I could take pictures of and what I couldn't.
Right, right.
So I did not want to insult anybody and not. But they had many, many of these,
Groups of 4.
Groups of 4.
Well, with the pot in the middle.
and I really wanted to get a yard of fabric, but it was priced very prohibitively.
Yes,
It was like $60 for a 1 yard piece.
for a meter.
Or excuse me, for a meter,
Yeah.
yes. And I mean, it was great. I would have loved to have done, and I may just go ahead and wire my son some money because he's going to go back there. But at Mexico, where he interned for a ceramics family, they have what's called a ladder kiln, which is, there's a kiln here, 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 and it goes uphill.
Yes.
And I want to
yes.
say there were 7 of these
Okay.
kilns that are all intertwined together. And it was just beautiful. I mean, just seeing it, I've never seen a kiln like that. And we got to, I got to paint 2 plates.
Okay.
And when he comes back, he should be back in August. They're going to send
Fire
my
them.
paint, they're going to fire them and send my plates back.
That's one place I didn't get to visit.
It
when I
was,
there.
it was, I loved the country because there's nowhere near as many signs, and electrical is everywhere. They have huge substations, easily once every mile. There's just wires everywhere in Tokyo proper, you know, in the, when you get into the country, and I got to ride in a car,
Okay. Oh.
and that was different. I
Isn't
did
that-
not drive,
did
but I
you
got
sit
to
in the
ride.
front seat?
Yes, I did. And that was an experience because you're seeing cars. You're in the passenger seat, so you're on this side. The driver's over here, and the cars are passing you on that side. So when they turn right, which is, believe it or not, is more like a left for them, which would be our left-hand turn, you know, you see people coming and they're coming at you, being the passenger. It's just a little bit different feeling.
Did you see the garages, the car garages?
Oh, the one where they lift it up on a lift. They pull in, and the guy gets out of his car, and it will lift it up and
Move
file
in
it
there. Yeah.
somewhere in the
It's around
yeah,
building.
yeah. So between that and, I only saw about 6 dogs while I was there, and they were all in clothing of some sort, sweatshirt, whatever. And most of them were small, except at Mexico, where they had a Dalmatian, and that was their, I don't know, their
pet.
Their pet. Only saw 1 cat, and that was when I was at the museum in Mexico. And the gentleman that was originally there that started this type of ceramics that they do, it was, I believe it was related to one of the cats he had, but they made it into his home. They moved it to this spot.
Okay.
And his studio and everything are in there, and this cat walks around like he owns the place, and he pretty much does.
Yes.
Now, this is a bag that Angela made. A number of us girls are being shown how to make them by Jennifer Gleich, which is one of our newer members of our group. We're actually now members of her group, which is the Seems So Right. This is a mini professional tote, and it has, you know, pockets on this side, a pocket on this side, a big pocket, and then inside you have the pocket for your tablet, and it's extra padding on each side, which is really quite nice. It has a zipper pocket, a big zipper pocket on this side. Can you see that? And then it has a zipper on this side. And I'm learning zippers myself. But then it has extra little pockets with,
Velcro.
what is it? Yes, Velcro and elastic. And I'm not done with mine because my sewing machine is in the hospital. My
Okay.
fob is in the hospital.
Okay.
It was sick.
It caught it from you.
Yeah, that's
Thank you,
it.
Faith.
Thank you.
I wanted to show you what I did with our challenge fabric, and it's going to be, by the time you see this, Easter will already have passed, but it's going to be for Easter. And so I have 2 long tables, and so they'll have this on. And then this is just like a center. And I did a table runner, a short table runner that can be used then for your placemat. And for the napkins, I will be folding them like our piece crane. So you can fold your linen or just cotton into different shapes and then put them in your glass if you want to. So I'm going to use a paper napkin to show you. So you're going to be folding it in half, then you fold it again. Remember, you've got a fold here, and you've got your bottom things, corners. Then we need to fold it diagonally. Like this. And then you're going to fold it the other way. So it looks like this. Now, important, you have a fold here, it's open here, and it's all open on the bottom. Now the tricky part. Upside down and backwards, I can do this now. So you're going to be pulling this up and folding it so that it's a square. Then you need to turn it over, and you're going to be taking this corner and folding it up. Now, this is the part where the fold is, and this is all the open part. Important, all right? So now we're going to be folding. You're still going to keep your point down there. Your fold is up here, and you need to fold this to your center line. And then you do the other side like this. Then you turn the whole thing over. And remember, the fold is at the top. And you're going to do the same thing from the point. You're going to be folding it up. with the napkin, I ironed it with every fold, so it worked better. And then this other side goes up like this. And then this top corner you fold down. And I found that if I fold it one way and then turn it over and fold it the other way, it's going to work better when you're doing the rest of it. So now it looks like this. You're going to take this bottom corner and pull it up. And then you turn it over. And this little part here you put up. And then you're going to take your bottom corner again and pull it up. Now to tell which one, we still have this point up at the top part, because now you're going to fold this in on both sides. And then you're going to turn it over and do the same thing for the other side. Okay. So then you turn it to the side. You open it up and this goes, tucks right up in there. Turn it the other way. And this bottom is going to tuck right up in there. And one will be the head. One will be the tail, and you fold the wings down. So it's a peace crane. Remember I said I was going to fold 1,000. I got all the way up to 800. However, they've been disappearing. So I still wanted people to give me suggestions for mailing them, or giving them away to people. So I will just keep folding, and maybe at one time we'll have 1,000 here, but they seem to be flying away, which is fine. We have a Montessori school and we have a Korean congregation. So I will be right back. So I'm here and we've been talking about peace. And so for the next few programs, we'll be closing the program with peaceful moments. And I have a poem that's a prayer. I was very fond of Maddie, and he was that wonderful, wonderful child with such magnificent insight. And he wrote a poem every day of his life. And it's amazing, the insight that he had. And his mother put his poems into a book after he passed away. But there's one, because we did people to people last time, and this time we're talking about the earth and environment. And April has been, it was Earth Day, which started several years ago when I was teaching. But I would like to read Maddie's poem, and it actually is a prayer for the earth and people. And this was from 1996. So remember, Pluto was still a planet then. Dear God, please help us, God. We must stop the anger. We must stop the violence. We must stop it in people, in families, in countries, in earth. People are sad when they are angry. Families are sad when they are angry. Countries have war when they are angry. And when there is war, there is sadness and violence. And the people die, and the families die, and the countries die. And even the earth will die. 9 is such a good number for the planets in our universe. It would be a shame to have only 8 planets if this one, Earth, disappears. Earth is the only planet that's not too hot. It's not too cold. It has the right amount of air and water for life. Well, it would be even more of a shame because we'd all disappear with the planet. Please help us, God. I want my planet. I want my family. I want my life. Amen. May 5th, 1996. And you think how many years ago it was, but we're still facing the same kind of things that we had. And we can only have peace if each one of us started within ourselves and find peace within ourselves. I'd like to ask that the Lord bless you and that he keep you, that the Lord be gracious unto you, that he lift up the light of his countenance upon you and give you peace. So bye for now from Oregon Quilting, and we'll see you next month.
One, two, three.